coalition government across municipalities are set to report back on its governance in its first 100 days. This year's local elections resulted in an increased number of coalition governments, with many results coming out hung. It forced political parties to partner up to govern at various municipalities. Today, the Democratic Alliance and its coalition partners, COPE, EFF, UDM, IFP, FF+, and ACDP, will gather in Parliament to brief the media on their work in the past 100 days in office working in coalition. And to further unpack this story, we do have live in studio political analyst Levi Ndor. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on Morning Prime. We really do appreciate your time here. Morning.
Good morning.
So firstly, what are your expectations for the briefing on the 100 days of multi-party government? Do you foresee it to come out as a success or failure?
I think we need to firstly appreciate the fact that different political parties are able to work together and ensuring that there is success and progress in South Africa.
Did you expect that they were able to work together?
Well, under the circumstances, they have no choice. South Africa has to move forward. But I think one issue that we need to look at very seriously is the fact that we need to be a bit realistic in the sense that these are the parties that were on each other's throats during the campaigning. And at the same time, these people now had to come together and ensure that they start working together. And if you look at 100 days, one would argue and say it's a very, very long time. And others will say, no, it's a very, very short period of time, because these people have to come together, agree on certain areas, and then try to build the new administration and ensure that it starts working. And obviously, if one would say we haven't seen any change, or the current coalition has done nothing, I think it will be a bit unfair for them. What I would expect from the coalition governments will be for them to come out clear and outline their plans on what they intend doing as we move forward in local government.
So do you expect some positive or negative feedback today?
When you are in coalition, you have to compromise on a number of areas, because there is no ultimate winner, and there is no party that can say, we the ones that won the elections and were in charge. You run the municipality with other parties. And obviously, these other parties will come with their own demands, and at times you need to compromise on your stance in order to accommodate them. And obviously now, they should have come with concrete plans to say, this is what we intend doing as we move forward. Obviously, we might be quite surprised by some of the moves that they might come up with, or at the same time, we might be very, very excited that the two parties are able to come together. But moving further, this is supposed to be a case in which we're able to check and determine whether coalitions can actually bring success in local government level in South Africa.
Now let's talk more specifically about the major metros here in South Africa. In your professional opinion, which major metro really stands out for you in terms of these 100 days of, a multi-party government? Which one has been a success in your eyes?
Well, I think one must firstly point out on the metros in Gauteng, Tshwane and Johannesburg. And what we get on the media reports on numerous occasions are that people seem not to be knowing what the current administration at local government is doing. And I think analysts and media people at times will be quite unfair to the current administration, because not all the things can just start unfolding immediately. What we need to do is to give this new administration sufficient space for them to plan, and then they must outline their plan to all of us. But what we then expect as ordinary citizens on the ground, on the basis of the promises that were made by different political parties, we must start seeing change and progress moving forward. What worries me most is that there seems to be a perception by some in the administration to focus on the wrong things that happened in the past. I think that is a move in the right direction in order to be able to correct yourselves. But I think it will not be wise for those in the current administration to divert all their attention to what happened in the past, because it will not be able to assist the future. But what they must do is that they focus on the priorities of the people on the ground, and they actually deliver as promised by the different political parties.
So let's talk specifically, let's first go to Joburg Metro. The EFF have been challenging the Democratic Alliance in terms of spatial development, and they seem to be clashing with their land reform policy, clashing with the Democratic Alliance. Your thoughts on that?
One of the challenges that we face in coalition governments is that the participants or those that are involved in coalitions would always try to come up with certain demands that they feel they should be met. And if they don't manage their own differences in a manner that will move the municipality forward, it might actually compromise service delivery. And I think what they need to do is to say, because we've agreed to work together, let's have closed sessions, because they need to avoid a situation where their differences are then known by the public out there. Because if they do so, they'll be giving an opportunity to other parties to come in and capitalize on their differences. But we know the stand of the EFF, that the EFF has got its own leftist radical stand. And at the same time, the Democratic Alliance tries to accommodate everyone. And those are the challenges that the two parties are going to face, and they must find the best ways of managing those challenges.
And it's not just in Johannesburg. Let's talk now about the Tshwane. We've seen a lot of fighting for positions there in Tshwane Metropolitan. Your thoughts here on how it has been run?
It is not only about positions in Tshwane. It is about the coming together of all the political parties that are in the municipality to find a common goal and move South Africa, or move the city of Tshwane forward. You will recall that there were incidents where there was infighting and bottles flying within the chambers of the municipality. I think that is not what as citizens we expect. We expect our own people to be matured enough and be able to accommodate each other and move the city forward. But then also at the same time, there are some media reports that are quite disturbing that indicates that the city of Tshwane is actually bankrupt, that they don't have money. And obviously, it creates a number of problems to the current administration, because the services that we need will require financial resources. And when there are no resources, then it will force the municipality to increase the rates and taxes, and the ordinary people themselves are going to suffer. And I think it is up to the municipality to come out and say to the people, these are the challenges that we're facing. Unfortunately, we might be forced to take difficult decisions in order to be able to have a sustainable municipality.
But at least there's that communication there involved there. Mr. Levendu, thank you so much for joining us here on Morning Prime.